Fantasy is getting his academy going. He's getting his armor going. In response to that, he's going to have everything he needs to deal with you know, cloak raids. Oh no, that was bad mine. Hitting that tank. That's going to hurt actually. And now he actually engages some of the vultures, some of Fantasy's vultures with less of his own and loses some. Yeah, so that Wraith is going to work on that barracks and really would be put to better use attacking SCVs in Fantasy's supply line and using like a second Wraith to go after it. But what he's basically planning there is he's trying to catch Fantasy in a position where he can kill off the barracks and stop him from producing more factories at a certain point, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of, but Fantasy has plenty of factories already, so it's kind of a strange tactic in my mind. Anyway, but the fact he's only made that one Wraith means we're probably going to see dropships coming out from Fantasy. Otherwise, he would have produced that control tower there. Yeah, probably dropships coming out here pretty soon. And then he's going to be able to really put the pressure on and possibly drop forces in the back of his base. If he can drop some vultures in the back, there's that dropship. If he can put some vultures in the back of UpMagic's base, he'll force UpMagic... I'm sorry, if UpMagic can put vultures in the back of Fantasy's base, rather, he can force Fantasy to pull some of his forces back and then attack the front because he's moving into the front here. And UpMagic sieges up second, but he has the high ground. His tanks going off and killing off the tanks of Fantasy's... UpMagic's forces just completely stomping on Fantasies, and there's the vultures being dropped right at the supply line. Not the safest position, but they are killing off SCVs there. UpMagic is a strong lead in this game now. He is in really firm control here. He has a major advantage. He has control of the ramp outside Fantasy's base. It looks like he's gonna just hold that ramp and fall back and go around the side. He's not gonna try and go down that position. You can see on the minimap his forces kind of going around the middle. And yeah, he's going to try and go back in the middle and try and keep a counterattack from coming as well. But he has a real big advantage right now. He's got more tanks, more vultures, more Goliaths, more tech, more of everything. And here he comes in. Oh, whoa, barely killing off that mine before it hit the siege tank. This time, Fantasy has the high ground, but there's that Wraith in the mix, attacking those tanks as well. Goliaths as well. I think, oh man, UpMagic is going to lose this battle though, unfortunately, and he's going to actually even target that vulture, but in the meantime, Wraith in the mix has killed off. I think that Wraith got the final kill on one of those tanks. Yeah, the Wraith with 2 kills on it. Maybe 3. Is going to go down a little bit careless by UpMagic there. But I think UpMagic probably would have been better off just holding position outside that base and just, you know, keeping his advantage secured like that. Oh! Whoa! UpMagic's tank goes off first. UpMagic's tank's going to go off first, but Fantasy's going to be able to repair his tank. But now there's a vulture in play as well. Oh! Plants down a mine! Runs the vulture away, the mine goes off, kills off the tank, and his own tank, it looks like, died in the background, but just more disruption going on in Fantasy's base. Fantasy's having a hard time. Whoa! Oh, that was, okay, that was, I see, for some reason, I was confused for a moment there. UpMagic had planted another mine there, and it almost hit that tank, but the 2 vultures right next to it killed off the mine before it hit Fantasy's spawning tank. But now, this is a critical thing. Like I said, you want to be expanding while you're attacking, or teching while you're attacking. That's exactly what happened. And that vulture's somehow still in there. On the side, is there with 2 Goliaths to protect this tank. Not going to accomplish a ton after all, actually. But still some more disruption. In the meantime, UpMagic has expanded, like I said, and gotten his 3rd base. So even though he's at a little bit of a tactical disadvantage here with the low ground, and his army's getting picked off a little bit more here on the low ground, he's gotten his 3rd base up, and he's been doing some drops and killing off SCVs, so he's got a huge economical lead, and building a 4th base in the bottom right as well. So UpMagic is in such good shape right now. It looks like he's going to even up the score here with eSTRO eSTRO having 1 game and SKT having 1 game, which would be a really big deal. I mean, it'd be a huge thing if eSTRO could actually win this matchup. Uh-oh, he needs to be careful of those mines. He needs to see those mines. Mine picks up. Oh, kills off the mine before it hits those forces. Kills off the other mine as well. So he is in a perfect position. Fantasy is no longer mining from his main base here. He is only mining from his natural expansion because of these repeated drops in his main. Finally, one has stuck, and he has not been able to fight it off with vultures here. So UpMagic is in a firm lead, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to win the game at this point. It'd be really difficult for him to blow a lead like this, although the only person I must admit that I've seen blow a lead this big lately was UpMagic when he played against Stork, and he sieged his tanks at the wrong moment right as the Zealots were coming in, basically suicided his army that way. But again, you know, I really like UpMagic. He's usually a smart player. Just that single miscue just happened to be just the wrong miscue to throw away the game. But usually he's an extremely good player. Not like top level, you know, like your J-Dong and your Flash, etc. But he's always like, you know, A level. He's up there. He's above your, you know, your second tier players that you usually see. Anyway, but yeah, quick note, I guess, on Pro League stuff. SKT1 was were the champions last season, obviously. eSTRO came in, I think, next to last behind Ace. And I'm going to call it now, actually. I think eSTRO is not going to come in next to last this season. I think that they are actually showing some grit. Some of their players, their lower level players, have actually shown some good play in like preliminaries and stuff lately. So I think eSTRO is actually going to come out ahead. They might come out ahead of maybe Woonjin, Stars, or NBC Game. NBC Game's roster has been kind of bad the last couple seasons. And here we go, and this may be the killing blow of a drop. I thought I saw a drop. Yeah, there's the drop coming in here. Several tanks and a couple Goliaths coming in. He seizes up a little bit too quick. Actually, he might have wanted to take out those SCVs, but at the very least, he's going to trade for some SCVs. And Fantasy cannot afford those SCVs right now. No, he unsieges. He's even going to save some of the tanks. So even though Fantasy has been using some Vulture Harass, told you, to kill off some of UpMagic SCVs, UpMagic has 4 bases going now, and he can definitely afford that. And look at this. He's still in firm control of the back of Fantasy's base, and he's taking out depots. He's taking out the Comsat Center. He looks like he's going to take out the Armory as well. It looks like Fantasy may clean this up with these last few SCVs. Nicely done, targeting one SCV on each tank, and he's moving his own tanks in behind to finish those off. But like I said, critically, UpMagic with 4 bases, 4 functioning bases, and Fantasy with basically 1.5, because he's lost so many SCVs in this whole battle. And wow, so this is going to be really good stuff. I actually had said over the summer also that I thought Ace was not going to come in last. I thought they were going to do well. But then I realized that Oversky and Daezang, 2 of their better players, specifically Oversky of late, were leaving Ace. And so I don't know how well Ace is going to do after all. They've got Ruby now and Dark Elf, but the only good player they really have is Anytime. And Ruby's slightly decent sometimes, but not enough to really do much good. Anyway, this isn't an Ace game though, and here comes another drop with the natural expansion. I don't know if Fantasy has the forces to deal with this right now. He's having to run away his forces, and Vulture's coming in just to seal the deal, to try and kill off those SCVs. A little bit late to catch the SCVs, but they're going to be enough to reinforce these tanks here. And wow, and just going to be able to bum rush in, and at this point, yeah, UpMagic just has too many forces. Fantasy GG's. Fantasy GG's. Sorry, Fantasy. You are not as smart nor creative as UpMagic. UpMagic, the superior person, also happens to win this game. I must admit that most of the time, Fantasy does probably have better mechanics and would probably beat UpMagic. But UpMagic coming through in this game, just playing smarter and playing harder and taking the win. So he's going to tie this series up at 1-1 for eSTRO, between eSTRO and SKT. And the next match, if I remember correctly, is Best versus Classic, which I actually heard that was a good game. So we'll see what Classic, who is kind of an up-and-comer on the eSTRO team, can do against the former Protoss Dragon Best, once one of the greatest players in the game, now in a major slump. So we'll see if Classic has what it takes to defeat a Dragon slumping game. Anyway, moving on to Game 3. Thanks for watching. Take care. Go UpMagic.